What is up, everybody? Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Marvel Rivals. Today we are going to be taking a look at another one of the VP members, actually all the VP members. This is going to be a tournament game actually, so it's not going to be in just the traditional one above all lobbies that we usually spectate, but Sypeh, absolute legend, phenomenal player, going to be playing Invisible Woman, and he puts forward some pretty crazy numbers with Invisible Woman. And this is a character that I've seen some people kind of struggle, especially myself, where you kind of struggle to thread the needle between doing damage, getting those kills, and getting some damage. But they play a comp that really allows for Invisible Woman to shine, playing that 2-tank composition here as well. So I'm expecting a ton of cleave on different tanks. I like the throw that shift right in the spawn, are able to charge some ult pretty quickly off the rip. And his whole team is going to be playing this high ground here, which we've seen a lot of people in our previous spectating videos hold with, with everything they have, is just to try and dislodge people from this high ground because it gives you such a huge advantage, I think. So unfortunately has to drop back down here to heal the DPS. And then they try and get a nice brawl going. Being able to heal 2 tanks with Luna and Invisible Woman, you are going to be doing some crazy, crazy numbers here. And I think it was also widely regarded that, the VP team is just one of the best teams in this esports, kind of scene at the moment. So I don't know if this game was meant to be close, and it wasn't, but just based on the scores, there's a ton of damage being done here too. So this is just sometimes it's weird when professionals pick up this game. It feels like everything's going more in slow motion, but there's probably a lot more damage being done than on a regular one above all lobby. And it's kind of weird. This is one of the first professional games that I've actually spectated, and it's interesting that you don't see quite as many side skirmishes in these tournament games. You just really focus on, and wow, not going to be able to kill that Luna. They just back up, they just heal each other, and they're able to just heal the Luna through the Storm ult. Beautifully done there. The Luna not moving back and forth too much, making sure to get maximum value out of that Invisible Woman healing. And that is the cleanest I've ever seen someone deal with a Storm ult. They don't even lose anyone in the front line, even though they're both backed up healing themselves. So good job from the rest of the team staying alive. Invisible Woman ult arrives just in time. Magneto not going to be able to get that one shot, but now there's this ugly flank over to the right-hand side here. But again, we are getting a ton of cleave with those auto attacks, both healing the double frontliners, and we were getting some good damage there. Good double jump to get away from the offensive Bucky ult as well. And it looks like his team is going to go down here. Lots of damage on this Star-Lord. Might actually win the 1v1. Almost a 1v1. And the decision to back up. But before I got distracted, it's interesting when you watch these professional games. They don't just fight for no reason. You can see they lose a couple people. They back up. They're seeing if they can still win. And then as soon as they lose one more person, they fully reset. There's 3 people just waiting for these tanks to come back. So I like that decision. I like seeing that clean gameplay. People really struggle to do that in ranked games. Just get that full reset. Realize when the time is now to reset and get out of there. So, and they're gonna get absolutely bodied on this first point right here. So I think we're gonna see another bigger reset. That Magneto and the Bucky playing a ton of space in that front line, already rounding this corner, just as the cart is rounding that first corner. Making sure to keep everybody alive as we wait for the team to reset. And this corner can be really hard to get around when you're on offense. Goes for the pull in. And there's Star-Lord ult, enemy Magneto ult, enemy Luna ult. Like the double jump to try and get away from that Magneto. Still commits that ult to make sure that he's topped off. He can keep his team safe, keep himself safe while he's cleaving. And yeah, that's a Bucky ult if I've ever seen one. Picture perfect Bucky ult, taking out 4 people. Clock is at about 1:45. And I don't think I've seen people in any ranked games play this high ground in the middle of the map. This obviously only works if the map is reconstructed up here, but that's interesting. I just feel like, oh, and beautiful triple knock off of high ground there. Forcing the enemy team to come around that right-hand side. A couple people still going to be up there, but that's okay. And Sparker going to be the only person getting hit by that Groot ult. So everyone else should be staying pretty safe. And they're not playing as on this cart as I thought they would. Nevix, unfortunately, is going to get taken out while that Luna ult is still en route. But Sparker gets a nice kidnap on that Groot, pulling him out of the healing there. So they do trade tanks here, trade Groots here. This is going to be super dangerous. Star-Lord and Bucky both committing ult there. Luckily, they're able to take out the Bucky, but Star-Lord's still going to present a bit of a problem. Luckily, he's not able to get too much. And we see that next Luna ult. Everyone's farming ults ridiculously quickly this game. It is kind of insane that the amount of support ults that are coming in. Unfortunately, Nevik's going to go down again. And there's just a lot of damage coming in. They're going to give up this second point here. Fortunately, they lose that Luna on the back end of it. And just going to run full speed away from this Star-Lord. I almost would have... That was interesting to commit to the runaway there. I probably almost would have died. I would have just maybe stood still and reset with the rest of my team. But as soon as you get taken out of invisibility and there's a DPS chasing you there, it's almost like, I don't want to delay this any further. Tons and tons of cleave healing here. Magneto has farmed ult again. Is waiting around that corner to try and get away from that. And luckily they are able to get Finzi around line of sight. He's able to run back for some heals. Both support ults available for his team too, so they should be able to stall just a touch. 45 seconds left, so this is now where we're kind of thinking to hold ults for overtime if we can. 5 popping ult, getting 2. Should be able to run down the rest of them. Beautiful ace. 30 seconds left. And now we're going to step up. Yep, we're playing a little bit of space here. Both support ults at our disposal. And 15 seconds. The enemy is going to be, they're going to have to dash at this point to actually get the touch here. Groot ult coming in, but there's Invisible Woman. Enemy Luna ult, and they get the touch with, I think, about a second left, couple seconds left. Groot ult comes in hot, and then they do have access to this Luna ult as well. Hold all of their ults for that last 10 seconds of the game with the overtime, and they get the ace there. That was something. That was something. And let's get into the second round to see what's going on. And just to peep the scoreboard here too, both of the healers, I guess it was a little bit of a healer diff that round. Sypeh and Drydro getting just about 8,000 more healing than the other team, and definitely putting forth a lot more damage. Nevix is kind of gapping the other tank as well there, and you see more damage coming in from Fi as well. Sparker looking to get that initial pick on the Widow first before switching back to Bucky. Kind of an interesting play in a tournament setting as well. A lot of people think that Widow is Turbo Grief, so I think she can be good. I'm not a Widow hater as long as you're good at Widow, and if people think you're hacking, you're doing it right. But don't actually, don't actually aimbot. Don't do that. And yeah, Nevik starts it off with a nice 2-piece. Everyone else cleans up, and they are going to have 4 on cart here, moving this thing at light speed, having a much easier time cracking the enemy team's defense than they did last round. So sitting in a good spot. And something I feel like I've just, at least the Magneto did right there. He's using his shield intermittently to block some damage, but while he's stepping up, he's not holding it down, so he's able to hold it down significantly longer as he's backing up there, which was kind of interesting. I think I see a lot of Magnetos use their shield and, I don't know, and then they don't, for like no reason, just to kind of pad blocked stat or something like that, and then they don't have it when they need it, which is kind of interesting. So I like that decision to walk up there, play that space, and as soon as he's dropped low, he has the shield. He can back up into healing. Unfortunately, we're going to get taken out of Invis there. But still made tons of progress on the cart. Trading that Star-Lord ult kind of late. Not sure how I feel about that. A couple people just dying there, or one person dying there. I don't know. Maybe thought they could still win that fight, but Nevik's going to get kidnapped pretty far here. And this is going to be a lot going on the screen at the moment. These Groot walls are definitely really annoying, but to see professionals play with them, still able to get a ton of healing around those walls. Tanks are much more mindful of where the Groot walls are, and we love to see that. It can get really, really frustrating in ranked games when you have all those Groot walls everywhere, and you're playing a healer and people are yelling at you for heals, and there's just no line of sight anywhere. Again, playing space similar to the way the enemy team did. Getting some good cleave healing. Basically hitting 3 people with those auto attacks on the right-hand side there. Going to charge his ult very, very quickly. And committing the earlier Invisible Woman ult, almost actually gets pulled out of it there. They overlap support ults here, just making sure that they survive. No offensive ults popped yet for his team. Just looking to counter that Bucky ult and the Groot ult. And I'm not sure how I feel about that ult usage. I think the Invisible Woman ult was going to be enough. I think we could have waited maybe a second or two on that Luna ult and popped an offensive ult with it. Might have gone a little bit better, but what do I know? What do I know? Star-Lord's still going to take out 2. And then we take out the Invisible Woman and the Magneto late. They should have this first point. I don't think the enemy can get enough presence on this last point, especially with that. Oh, well, there's multiple Doctor Stranges now. Both 2 tanks switching to Doctor Strange to try and make this last hold happen. Here in the Star-Lord ult, going to try and stand in this cubby over here, but yeah, he should just get taken out here. I can't imagine he lives. There we go. Plenty of time, though. Plenty of time. All they need is probably, I mean, 1 ace and then like a half ace will probably get them the victory here. Just under 2 minutes on the clock. And they are pretty close on both support ults. And they have both of those offensive tools with that Groot ult and that Bucky ult. Pulling this Star-Lord off of high ground. Probably making him have a little mini heart attack right there. As he gets pulled out of nowhere. Unfortunately, we do lose the Star-Lord in this first scuffle. And having to contend with that Star-Lord on the left-hand side there. Hopefully, Sparker's going to be able to take him out almost solo. Being patient with his Invisible Woman ult, I do like that as well. And as soon as that Doctor Strange ult comes out, there we go. We're going to make sure that our tanks stay alive. Enemy Luna ult comes out, so not going to be able to kill anyone on the enemy team until both of those are over. And we should see another 2 support ults come in as we round this corner. Still getting just tiny little bits of distance on this point here. I think the enemy Star-Lord is in... he's in a good position to flank, but I don't think he's in a good position to do a whole lot. He's just tickling from the back, which is kind of a weird sentence to say. Didn't think I'd say that today, but beautiful wall off on the 2 tanks. And those tanks are not going to be able to... they're kind of linchpins in this whole scheme. So as soon as they go down, beautiful work, and a minute and a half left on that clock. And they don't need to get it to the end. They just need to get it to this next checkpoint, get it further than the enemy team. We'll have 1 on, and I like the decision for the Magneto and the Groot to play some space. We'll leave the Luna back there on the point to make sure it goes not at a snail's pace at least. Have 1 healer going to get some good cleave on these tanks. Should be able to keep them up pretty effectively. And just like that, the cart is rounding this corner. He successfully farmed a support ult back, so the enemy team isn't going to have those. They'll have a nice defensive for that Star-Lord. Sparker going to take out 2. That could have gotten a bit dicey with that double hook, but Sparker is still going, just resetting. Taking out absolutely everybody. And with a clean fight like that, nice, very, very nice, very clean dub, especially in that back half of the game. Those last 2 fights were a wonder to behold, if you will. And I think we're going to see a pretty cool and pretty consistent scoreboard with what we're looking at. So, well-deserved MVP. Does a ton of healing, and I think he goes like 31 kills in this game, which is a bit crazy as well. So let's see what the final score is. I don't actually know if they show that, but as you saw on the kind of initial part, there we go. We'll see this show up, and we're 31, 3, 46, 14,000 damage, 50k heals. Just absolute banger of a game. If you want me to spectate more professional gameplay, I know this esports scene is definitely going to pop off in the next month or so. So if you want me to spectate any more of these people, don't hesitate to leave a comment. Leave a like on the video if you liked it. Comment what you guys want to see next, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.